Now, this week here, we don't really have a lot that would directly build into the trade. I mean, right now we do have crude oil. Late last week we have BTC. Earlier this week we kind of got out at BTC. Very quickly jump into BTC as well. Okay, now I also share with you like why I decided to take profits on BTC first. Now, to be honest, did I know this would happen? No, right? Obviously, nobody would know. If I know, I would go all in, right? But again, this entire setup over here is really built on the patterns that we keep emphasizing, right? We keep talking about it. It doesn't really matter, which asset, which instrument, okay? At the end of the day, it's really about the patterns because it tends to repeat itself over and over again, right? So this one here, if you still remember, basically the entry is we enter a key area, okay? On a high time frame, everything is completed. We go down to the hourly, okay? We kind of took the breakout trade. That's about it, right? Very, very simple entry combined with all the patterns that we talked about. And then we got that trade. Okay, now if you were aware, what was it, right? It's basically there were a piece of information, a quote unquote, a fake news that were released talking about how the BTC ETF were being accepted. And then that actually pushed the sentiment up, and then realized that, oh, that news wasn't very accurate. And then of course, price came down after that, right? So we can't get that wick, okay? Again, in hindsight, you would say, well, I should have got out there, right? Again, nobody would know. But what had me decided to take that trade off first with whatever profits we have, is not that I've shifted my directional bias to being bearish. I'm still bullish on that. But again, when I take a trade, when I'm in the trade, right, ideally I want that trade to keep moving in the direction that I want in the shortest time possible. If I start to expect and anticipate that price would start to consolidate or go into some kind of a pullback, or a range bound environment, I would want to take that trade out first, right? Because every time you're holding on to the trade, even if you're making money, right, psychologically you are actually invested in it anyway, right? So think of it like visualize, right? If today your mental capacity, your emotion bank has 100%, that's like fully charged, right? It's like a power bank, fully charged 100%. Okay, if today you have some trades running, you're actually allocating a small portion of that emotional bank or that psychological bank onto that trade, right? So if today, you are really very invested in one trade, then you would like maybe have 50% of that of your psychology, right? Visualize that, right? 50% of it goes into that trade. So what it means is that it takes up a lot of your mental capital when you're in that trade, right? So the thing here is, even if today, when I take trades, okay, there are a certain percentage of that mental capacity will be put into a trade when I'm taking it. Okay. So the thing is, if the market's not going to move, I don't want to be invested in it psychologically and emotionally, right? So I'd rather take it off so that I'll be able to reinvest that portion of, that part into some other better opportunity, okay? So why was I anticipating Bitcoin to go into a consolidation? Because a wick over here is essentially a V-shaped formation. And after a V-shaped formation, there's a good chance that the market would actually do a bit of a consolidation. Now, very, very, very seldom you would see a V-shape followed by another V-shape up. At least on the higher time frame, very, very seldom. Okay, you don't really see that a lot happening. So the odds of it, going up, coming down, and then after that going all the way back up is not high. Okay, and for that reason, that's the part where I decided, okay, since I saw that, there's a good chance the market will consolidate here. Let's take that trade off first, right? In fact, if this is going to consolidate like that, it will do into an impulse correction. This may come back down a little bit more before the push, right? So again, a simple trade like that, yes, it's winning trade, it's profitable trade. There are certain things behind it that you can actually observe and extract those lessons out so that in the future, you can actually utilize those mini lessons to help you better manage, your entire trading journey and processes. Okay.